Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Marr. Welcome to Intersound. How are we doing, guys? Back again. Back. Trapped in these walls. Need to get out. Need to get out. No, we're back again. Me and Jacob are pulling a late one. We're doing a couple of videos for you. We've got a few guitars to show. So my jumper's not going to change. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice. It's very autumnal. Now, we're going to show you a few guitars that we've got recently. Now this is pretty special, and it was going to be for sale, but sadly, one of us, not naming any names, it's not me, it's not can't be for sale anymore because it's gone. It's gone to the highest bidder, or to the middest bidder. So yeah, sadly, it's no longer the shops. It is young Jacob's. So he's got himself a very nice Telecaster, but it is not just any old Telecaster, and it's not even that it's sparkly not champagne red.
Candy apple.
Candy apple red. It's not even that, although that is kind of part of it. Is it, as was shown at the start of the video, is a JV. So this is a JV Telecaster. These were made in Japan. These were the first run of the Fenders made in Japan. Made by the guys that made the Grecos. Famously, Grecos, Bernies, Tokais, all very good. And this came just around, or just after, the lawsuit era in Japan. So if you don't know anything about the lawsuit era, it's about 1978, 1979. The guys in Japan were making copies previous to that, but by 78, 79, Fender, Gibson, they'd started to cotton on, and that they were making these incredible copies, and they were just sort of changing the name slightly, and the script was very similar, and beating the Americans at their own game in the 70s anyway, and making guitars that were closer to the original specs of the golden era, the 50s and 60s, pre-CBS, pre-Norlin era. And they made incredible guitars, of which people have slowly started to work out over the years that these were really, really, really good, and especially the first run. Branded Fender in Japan, domestic market, and the first run was also branded Fender in the UK, but obviously we and as we know, Squire, that's the name that they elected to use. But these really first JVs, I think it's like 82, Fender Japan, 82 to 84 or 85, something like that. The really firsts, the JV, I can't remember if it's Japanese vintage or if it was something, but that very first run, they were just incredible. I mean, the rosewood on this is, it's not Brazilian rosewood, but it might as well be. It's incredibly dark Indian rosewood. So the quality of the woods that they were using at the time were amazing. Braided wire, cloth cabled pickups, decent pots. These are replaced. We've just replaced them now because the original sort of barrel style weren't very good, and they were a little bit old because this thing's I think this is an 84, so
40 years old.
41 years old, so it's getting on a bit. It's been used. It's not absolutely mint, and it's also not the original pickguard. So the type of pickguard that would have been on it, but it came with a black guard originally, and or to us, it came with a black guard, and we decided to change it because it does look better. You can find one of these, the exact same spec, I think same year or might be a year different, for sale on Reverb at the moment. The very much lauded gas station guitars, we've got one of these up for £2,395. So yeah, these guitars, they ain't cheap. Is that a little bit too much? I don't know. See if it sells, I suppose. But these go for close to £2,000, all day long. These things are better than the current American crop. Yeah, by far. People have realised over the last 10, 15 years that these are, very, very well-spec'd guitars. and if you don't mind, bits of patina, which obviously if you owned a 62 bound, custom telly, I'm sure if I had a few nicks and dinks, you probably wouldn't care. But yeah, these are just crazy good. And as soon as we got it in, I started working on it and cleaning it up. I could tell that there was a really good guitar under there. We still haven't completely got it all the way where it needs to be. We need to put a shim in the neck. We need to sort out the intonation on these new barrels, but we'll do that probably tomorrow and get this ready for Jacob. He wants to take it to a gig Thursday, is it?
Thursday, I think. Yeah.
Thursday. So yeah, 1983-84 JV Tele. The candy apple red is kind of rare. I think they started them off in sunburst, and then they also offered them in candy apple red. They might have also offered them in black as well. I think I've seen those. I'm a fan of the double bound. I was never a telly guy up until about a couple of years ago. Every time I played one, it was always a bit twangy and always a bit not good. But I think as I've been leveling up my guitar playing, the better guitar you get, and the less distortion you use, and the cleans that you, and the sort of different way that you play guitar, you start to think, actually, these are a bit cool. But I've always liked the double bound. I think the single bound, they look a bit, I don't know, just look a bit plain. I know people go crazy for the black guards and stuff. Doesn't really do anything for me. Although, if someone's going to give me one, I'm not going to say no, because obviously they do sound fantastic. But I like the rosewood boards. I'm a slab board guy. I'm not a maple guy. And the double bound, these 1960, something like that, 1961, 62, custom tellies. I think they just look beautiful. So I've got one on the way. But that's going to be another series. That's going to be another series, actually. That's going to be another series in probably next year now. Maybe starting January, February next year. So watch out for that one. Maybe we can have a double bound telly off.
We'll trade some licks.
That'd be good. My guitar is more historically accurate than your guitar. And I can't play it as well, but I'm better.
But it's cooler.
Yeah. Another thing to mention, I suppose, just as a quick tangent, there is no Intersound guitar show this year. I might have mentioned it to a few customers, and I've also mentioned it on the YouTube channel at least once. It's not happening. We need to get the shop in a better state. I want to get it into a better state. I also want to get a few more ducks in a row so we can do a proper show. I don't want to just do a half-baked thing. So bear with us. We plan to do it next year.
It's coming,
but we need to do it properly, do it right. So yeah, if you've for some reason heard me talk about it, it's cancelled. It's cancelled, it's gone. Anyway, we're not going to probably play now because it's late on a Tuesday. Me and Jake want to go home. We've had some dinner, but we're knocking out YouTube videos, showing off some cool stuff. As always, we do setups and repairs. I've just set up and repaired this lovely, cool vintage guitar, an old Arbiter, like an SG, bolt-on copy. Again, another Japanese thing. We just put on some new machine heads because the machine heads normally are a bit lackluster in these things. Again, that'll be a bit of something interesting coming next year, coming down the pipeline. What we're going to do with some old vintage Japanese guitars that we think there's life in the old dog yet in some of these. As long as you don't need them to play like Strandbergs or whatever. But yeah, just sold this to a gentleman called George on Saturday. And then we modified it slightly. Again, modifications, setups, all that kind of stuff. Please come and see us. Give us a like. Hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 200 subscribers. And we've been doing this for, 4 months. So we're doing okay. We want to get to the 1,000. If you've got another friend who's into guitars or anything like that, or always come and see us as well. Anyway, this has probably been way too long. But that was another What's on the Bench. Another JV Tele. I'm going to try and get another one because these are beautiful. If you see them out and about, don't buy them. Just let me know about them and then I can buy them and then hoard them like Smorgasbord.
You mean the dragon?
That guy.
Smaug. Yeah.
Smaug.
Smaug.
Smorg. Anyway.
Ned Schneebly.
Mr. Schneebly. It's goodbye from me, Mr. Schneebly. Jake?
And it's goodbye from me, Matt Bellamy.
We'll see you again. Bye, guys.